squad out during the week, I suppose, along expected lines. Obviously, you can make arguments for, a certain number of players, but no glaring admissions, would you say?
Not for me. I think people were talking about some names not being there. What I normally say to those people is, well, if you're going to say that person's unlucky, then look at the list of the players who are in and pick one that shouldn't be there. And I think that's the way I view it. You look at that squad and there's nobody on that list. I'm thinking that's a player who I'd be worried about playing for Ireland this autumn. So for me, no real shocks, and a very exciting campaign for fixtures. I don't think we've ever had that in November, so I think the expectation from Irish fans is not only that we see a lot of these players get rugby, we see the likes of Predracas, Izuchuku get capped, but there you have it, the 4 fixtures. But I think there's still an expectation in Ireland that we win all 4, given I still feel uneasy with being the bookies' favourites against the All Blacks.
Jamie, I suppose Andy Farrell is good at getting this short-term and long-term balance right.
Yeah, I think Andy takes a very, gradual approach to evolving this team. He's led a lot of players over the years, but always keeps the short-term goal of winning top of mind, but kind of bleeds those players through at the right time and gets it right. I think he's gotten it right most of the time. And that blended approach in terms of how he selects the players, I think he factors in skill sets, form, styles of play, how they play well with others, and also culture, I think, seems to be a big, massive thing for him there, and the experience of players. And he has a really experienced squad, but he has a lot of young players there, and he's managed that transition of passing the baton on, obviously with Caelan Doris, as he's managed it really well. I think he's telegraphed it well, and all the other players have bought in, be it the mentors who are further on in their career and bringing those players through, or the younger players buying in and learning from that experience.
Yeah, Doris officially, I suppose, the captain now for this tournament, 26 years old, and like Jamie is saying, it's that passing of the baton.
Yeah, and again, I don't think it was a huge shock. I think Peter Mahoney still has a role to play in green, but he's just such a good player. Age profile, 26 years old. I think I think this is the beginning of the Doris era. One thing that's really nice about him as well, always helps in your captain, is that you pick him because he's so damn good, and then you put players around. He's no real glaring weakness in his game. I love how he is so dynamic in the loose, his ability to beat players, but in the tight exchanges, he still has that sort of heavyweight to him. He's a player that I'm really looking forward to seeing how this the Doris era begins officially this November.
Actually, on that, I think as a player he's outstanding, and people might say, well, he hasn't captained a whole lot or whatever, but I think just look at the leadership around him. You've got Andy Farrell, you've got Paul O'Connell, potentially you have Johnny Sexton coming in as well, right? You've got Peter O'Mahony in the squad, you've got Ty Byrne, you've got these lads around him who've done it, and as well as the numerous players who have 50 plus caps around him to help him bring on that journey and bring through those leadership qualities.
Yeah, you mentioned Sexton there, news during the week, not official yet, but we expect Johnny Sexton to have some sort of mentoring role, some part-time role, which is obviously great news for the squad.
Yeah, and it really shouldn't come as a big surprise, because when people asked me about him, that's probably exactly what I would have said. I'm not sure where he fits into Irish rugby. Is it blue? Is it green? Is it coaching? Is it mentoring? But that guy has too much information on how to win rugby matches not to be involved. And we were talking off air, I think, particularly where the green number 10 shirt is at the minute. You've got guys putting their hands up, but nobody's grabbed it yet. And I think it's those wee informal conversations as opposed to coaching on the pitch. Maybe seeing some footage with Jack or Sam, and when we get to the edge, do you not feel like when your forwards come here, and that kind of quarterback mentality of what are the triggers that cause you to make certain decisions? Why Johnny was such a good player is Johnny was able to identify those things and make the better decisions quicker. If you can pass that on.
Yeah, brilliant. We know about his crankiness, but is he going to now be a big brother role, the arm around the younger shoulder?
He's actually a lovely fella off the field, right? A lot of my friends from Nace used to give out about play because they played a lot against him. I was like, when you play with him, he's an absolute dream, right? But I think, look, you've got 3 10s here with tons of potential, but really inexperienced in international rugby, right? You basically have a cheat sheet in Johnny Sexton, right? Johnny had David Knox, he had Felipe Contapone, he had Joe Schmidt kind of help mentor him through. To access that IP, I think is really advantageous to these young guys to come through. And I must commend the RFU and the coaching staff for kind of being flexible to his current scenario in potentially offering that opportunity up. And I think it's a great opportunity for those young players. We also have no kicking coach in the RFU setup. So to bring someone like that in who is so consistent with the boot, be it off the tee or out of his hands, to even coach the lads through in that, as well as more of a mentoring role. I know he took on more of a mentoring role in his kind of latter years, particularly as captain. I think if it happens, I think it's a great thing for Irish rugby.
Yeah.